Hi everybody, welcome to a show which was formerly called In the Center of the Circle, and after doing some thinking I've decided to change the name of the show to Micro Movements for Maximum Impact. The desire is still to create a show that inspires people to take action, but I've just been thinking about how what's really important to me and what really seems key to all of us in this age of just fast movement is taking small steps to get to the point that we want to get to live the kind of lives that we want. So, micro movements for maximum impact. And so I want to start with a new song for the show, not a new song for me. It's a song called Little by Little. I'm just going to sing a little bit of it. Little by little, bit by bit, I'm getting to the heart of it. Little by little, love is guiding me home. With every step along this path, I feel a little lighter. With every lesson on this path, I'll burn a little brighter. Little by little, bit by bit, I'm getting to the heart of it. Little by little, love is guiding me home.
Great.
There you go. Thank you.
Love this instrument.
Thank you.
What do you call it again?
For those of you who don't know, for those of you who are watching for the first time, this is called a stick. It's a kind of stick invented by a man in California who obviously thinks outside the box.
Stick. Why stick?
Yeah. The original one was called the Chapman stick. His last name is Emmett Chapman.
Oh.
I think he was originally going to call it the electric stick, but there you go. So
Cool.
based on a guitar and one that you play by just...
And what is this lever for?
This is just where the strap goes.
Ah, right. Okay, I like it. It sounds really cool.
Thank you.
And not much
No.
exertion.
Yeah, somebody that I know in Vancouver said it looks like when I play it that I'm strumming my heart.
Oh,
I love that.
that's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It sounds like it too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada. And Toby, tell people about you. Tell people about you. Who are you? And well, okay. So we know each other. Toby is a friend of mine through my partner Jana Stanfield. So they have been friends for how long?
Since 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, we went to India. Jana Stanfield, she puts on trips for women and men, many people, all around the world. And so I didn't know her, nor did I know anything about this Speakers Association. And someone sent me the flyer, who's in the Speaker Association, and it just resonated. And within 3 weeks, I was on a plane to meet her in India. Actually, I met her in San Francisco. And we clicked immediately, and then she invited me to stay on further, which I did. We stayed just under 3 months in India together, oftentimes sharing a very small place together, so we got to know each other really well.
And you're still friends, so
yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
And my earliest memory of you, and I don't think I've shared this with you, was when Jana moved here in January. Well, we came to Vegas in January to check it out, and we were in the back of the cab, and she called you, and she had your conversation on speakerphone.
Oh, okay.
And just hearing how excited you were that she was in town.
Yeah, very excited. It's not often you get someone like Jana in our town. And then she said she was living here. Yeah. That was awesome. Yeah. And you stayed so quiet while we were at the restaurant speaking. I didn't know what to think of you until you started speaking. I was like, wow, he's actually got a lot to say.
You know, Canadian. It's like my
I just thought maybe, you were traveling with her and you met her in Bali and you just wanted to carry her bags. But it turns out you've got lots going on.
Indeed I do. So as I've gotten to know you over the last, it's amazing. It's like almost 6 months now.
Is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was January. This is June.
June, right.
Almost
Maybe
July.
It's exactly...
July. It'll be July tomorrow.
You're right. Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway.
Vegas, 113 today.
So as I was going to say, I've learned a lot about you, and I when I was thinking about who I would like to have on the show, I was thinking of you yesterday, and I thought, my God,
okay,
Toby's the perfect person to have on.
I'm excited that you thought that. I'll try to keep it as, pertinent to the information.
All you have to do is be yourself.
Right.
That's perfect. Yeah. So tell people about you. I love and appreciate you, but tell people about you. What are you on fire about? What really makes you happy, and what are you here to do? How do you serve the world? How do you heal?
Right. Well, for the last over 25 years, actually 21 years, I've been doing sports therapy. I'm a sports therapist. I work on people's bodies in a very sort of deep way. Some would say aggressive. But I feel that I go to the level of what their body is needing and asking. But over 25 years, I've been studying the healing arts. And I've traveled the world to learn many, many modalities. And now I've come to this place where I've brought them all together and capable of just, whatever's necessary at that moment. And I've had a lot of humbling experiences where I thought I could help people in so many ways. And that has taught me to redirect in other ways and be more compassionate of where people are. And then through that compassion, finding sort of what I like to call the vault code, right? It's a couple clicks this way, a couple clicks that way, right? And so everybody has that in their consciousness, in their body, at so many levels. Some people are just a little couple clicks off from finding their full vault code, and some people have unleashed it, right? So I just try to help people become more aware through their body, because that's where awareness, in my opinion, it starts in your own body, in your mind, in your heart, in your gut, in your health, in your ill health, whatever it is, it's all where your awareness is. And so if we just bring it back into that place, our awareness, because we're so focused outside of ourselves, which is okay. I mean, you need, right? You need the balance, but we've lost a lot of that focus. And there's many realms inside of that focus. It's not just one in silence, and it's not just, that's where I actually learned with Jana in India. I was so happy to learn this too, that you can have meditation in your walk, and you can have your meditation. It doesn't have to be silent 20 minutes or an hour or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes meditation can be just watching yourself and the hand gestures you use when you're talking to someone, or the words you choose to use, or eye contact, or whatever. And where your body is and how you're feeling about it, and the other person, what do you feel? Anyway, all those things, right? So I like to pull people back into their body, and I do this breath work with them, as well as some very deep work. And so with that, you hope to just sort of shake loose some of the layers that have developed, and some of them have solidified. Some people, they've even cemented somewhat. But it's all reversible, in my opinion, because I've witnessed it. People who've had long-held ailments in their body structure, have become free through just working on it. And what that frees up in their body, it frees up in the nervous system, in the neural pathways. So it ultimately frees up a part of your mind, and then a part of your thinking, a part of your awareness, and things that you never knew before are suddenly the same things that you see every day, and now they have different meaning. And so then we continue on that path.
So I didn't interrupt you. Okay. So my thought as you're speaking is, in this this new way that I'm framing things, this micro movement stuff. Am I right in saying that inevitably it's actually, even the people where things have cemented, to use your word, that it's actually small things, that it's a course correction thing. It's not this massive overhaul, right? It's like some little, little degree shift, whatever, which will then kind of unlock things, and one more tumble,
layer by layer, right? You just have to go, and sometimes that last layer that you've been working on, these other layers, right, will break through in such a way, it's enormous, the shift. And it seems like, holy moly, but you've been working at those little layers to get, and I'm 25 years or more since I was a young teenager, because I just knew something was not right with me. I would look out at other people, and they didn't seem to operate with the same sort of, let's say, judgment for themselves. You know, they just seemed to go on natural, whatever they were thinking and feeling. And I wanted to be like that. You know, when you're younger, you want to be normal, and you want to be like everybody else. So I didn't think I was normal. And so I would often seek to have normalcy enter into my mind. So a lot of times that took going to these different therapists. And luckily, by the grace of whatever is out there guiding us, I was able to find a therapist after another, one after another, and they were all in the alternative, which back in the day, that was, you know, it wasn't very much. Now it's like energy medicine and all the alternative ways of healing. It's very, but so I was taken through these things, you know, backwards through the layers, not anybody telling me you should go and this should be, and just finding them. So something was always pulling me closer and closer, deeper and deeper, in that way and this way, forward and right.
One small step at a time.
Yes, yeah, and too slow for me. Oh, I can't stand it sometimes. I want it now.
Yeah.
Like, why can't we just have it now?
Yeah.
I want to think about it now. And then I read this chapter in a book. I don't know if you want me to say those names of the books.
Yeah, if you want.
This book by Linda Green. No, anyway, she wrote a book called Love. Let's see. Anyway, Jesus Speaks. Something about love. Sorry. Anyway,
come to when you start thinking
exactly. And so one of these things that she has this communication. All this book is written around. She communicates with the energy of Jesus in her, you know, in her experience. That's what it is for her. And one of them is, she asks, why can't we have these things now? Why can't we have like the mind of God and know the universe and know past, present, and future? Why? And he said it would literally blow your mind. You don't belong in that realm right now. You have to work into it little by little. You allow. It's just like I guess the people way back when they saw the ships coming on the ocean, right? They didn't know what they were because they'd never seen it. Right. You couldn't cognizate. Anyway, it should be a word. They weren't cognizant of what they were seeing because they'd never seen it before. Right. So how could we know it unless, you know, little by little, you see things and then they start making sense and then other things start appearing, right? So that's what it's been for 25 years. And then honoring someone else's little by little, very difficult. Because now I have this sort of vast, in my own opinion, right, from my own experience, I've been through a lot. In hindsight, to me, that is vast, right? So now I want to help someone that they could cut corners and make it a little bit smaller, and that's what everybody does, I think, when they write books. It sort of cuts a corner. You could go down that path, and it's a little bit more hard, but you read this book, and it saves you time going into this direction. So little by little, that gap is closing. It seems like it's narrowing for how long it takes for someone to become aware, where before it took 50 years, 20 years for the women's rights and all these different things to happen. Segregation, you know, apartheid, all those things, right? Now, smaller and smaller and smaller things happen now, right? So that little by little, still little by little, wow, but it drags sometimes, doesn't it? No.
I just want to take a minute. As you're talking, I'm thinking how gratitude is a part of all this. Like how grateful it sounds to me you are that, you know, that gap is narrowing, and certainly how the power of gratitude can have an impact on all of this. How you welcome it in, how in being grateful it welcomes more.
Huge.
In.
Yes.
So yeah. So I want to just play a little piece of a song.
Great.
That I wrote along those lines, and.
It's also a new therapy on gratitude. I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, please. Okay.
Later.
I'll just play a little bit of this and then we'll get back to the conversation. Yeah. So for those of you who are just joining us in the middle of all this, this is a show that was called In the Center of the Circle, and now we are calling it Micro Movements for Maximum Impact. So we're talking about how taking very small steps initially can end up resulting in huge shifts in consciousness and awareness and development and healing and realizing whatever it is your goal might be. So, here's a little song about gratitude. It's called More Than Enough. A wise soul from another day laid bare the simple truth that all we need to be content is this. Someone to love, something to do, and something to hope for. With these three goals, your aim, life could be bliss. But human nature's funny, you live, learn, and forget. May this song help remind me when I'm tense and upset. Food for my belly, a comfy bed, a gal who loves me. Love said, it's not much, but it's more than enough. My trusty 8-string, a pen and pen, some inspiration, amen. It's not much, but it's more than enough. Oh, I know that some folks say you can't be happy till you have a pile of gold. But I have found you can't be bound by everything that you're told. A heart for loving, a soul to feel, a voice to sing about what's real. It's not much, but it's more than enough. Yeah, it's not much, but it's more than enough. Yeah.
That's an awesome song. Great song. You wrote it?
I did.
Nice.
Thank you very much. So,
when did you write that?
When did I write that? Jeez, I wrote it a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, a long time ago. I think it might be 30 years old. Long time ago.
Wow, you've been in this that long.
Yeah.
Singer,
well, it's funny, and it's funny. People will tell you that when the first CD is released, people have had their whole lives to write the songs, and then oh my goodness, I've got to write another CD's worth of stuff, and then you have to write 20 in a year, or whatever that process is. So, anyway, back to talking to you, Toby, about we haven't told people your full name, Toby
Lang. L-A-N-G-E.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I didn't know there was an E on the end.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
My grandfather changed it from Langkieski to Lang.
So you were about to talk about gratitude.
Yes. So there is this therapy that I learned. 2 therapies, actually. One you've probably heard of because it's a little bit more mainstream. Mm-hmm. Joe Vitale wrote a book about it called 0 Point.
Yes.
Okay, so Ho'oponopono.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So Ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian method of healing in the energy. And it's 5 statements that are made. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you, I love you, thank you. Mm-hmm. So part of that is gratitude, right? Gratitude for what you have and for what you don't have. Because they're all here for us for a reason, right? To learn from. And until you can become grateful, and as you get more being grateful for whatever you're wishing for, you get more of that. Mm-hmm. So being grateful for the things that you want to also rise above them, right? Mm-hmm. Then you will. So just recently I just found this man, a wonderful hypnotherapist, but he does more guided meditation. And my mind is just constantly, it's constantly going, much to it's not always, oh God, really? You're going to think about that right now, right? And, to try and bring yourself to the present moment. So he helped me, and this is tremendous because it clears that space and it brings me back to that peace, that center place that I desire, that I need, right? By just becoming grateful to whatever it is in that moment. Mm-hmm. The lack of confidence or the uneasiness or the nervousness, being grateful for the chatter in the mind, whatever it is. And immediately when I become grateful, it allows the unconscious mind to stop feeling between those 2 extremes. Mm-hmm. The two opposites of extremes, right?
Yeah.
One is fearful, one is judging yourself. It's constantly, So anyway, so that's helped me. And it's about being grateful. Who would have thought? Be grateful for those moments. And it immediately just makes it go away. Yeah. So now I teach that to my clients, slowly.
So before we started today, you were talking about, and I'm hearing this as you're talking, that there have just been so many things, so many avenues and modalities. I was just thinking about modalities, just different trainings that you've been exposed to, that you have experienced, that you've learned, that you've taught, that you're incorporating into one approach. Can I use that word? Is that?
I suppose, yeah. In the end, it'll be one approach, but I don't. It's so many that every human is so different.
Right.
That when my hands go on somebody, it's going to be different.
Right.
What I would do with you in the pool yesterday versus what I would do with Jana, everything's different because your energy calls something different. Yeah. So one approach, be present with the person, and then let my hands be guided. I am always like separating myself from deciding what I think they need. Right. And always taking that part. But yes, I continually search because I need for myself to feel. So I keep going through my layers, which then helps me help other people go through their layers, right? Know thyself so that you can know others. Right. I don't know if that's from the Bible, but I've always, and it's so true. How could you know other people if you don't even know yourself? Working through those layers, it makes it, then you have more compassion for people. Yeah, when they're, doing their thing. I was there once. Boy, I used to do that. Yeah. And then you just have compassion and patience.
And so one of the things that I want to give you an opportunity to talk about so we can help bring it into being was you had talked about this book that's over there right now.
Yeah.
But let's help to bring it into being. So you have a desire to create something which will kind of speak about all this synthesis of things that have come into you.
Synthesis. That's
so,
word,
do you have a working title for it?
I do. It's called Finding Freedom, and it's a guide to clearing pathways in your body and in your life, because your life is a representation of your body, your mind, right? This whole thing is a representation of what is coming to you by way of what you feel about yourself and the world around you, right? So the book is designed to teach people about small parts first, which is the connective tissue in our body, right? There's loads of connective tissue in our body. And the connective tissue, it's called myofascial, right? And it's like if you pull back the skin of a chicken and you see that white web between the meat and the skin, that's that. And it's very strong. You can hold a chicken up by that web. And the chicken's only been alive for so many years, right? Less than even. But you have to use a really sharp knife if you want to cut through it. It's a really strong, right? In a cadaver, they have to saw through it if they want to do an autopsy. It's so thick by the time your life has gotten, because it solidifies over time. And that's what pulls our body into this place slowly. If you don't stretch, if you don't give it another avenue, its sole purpose is to be the elasticity that holds our body together. So elasticity is things that pull itself into each other, right? So every square inch of it's worth over 2,000 pounds of pressure pulling into itself, right? So to lengthen it gives you freedom. To let it do its thing, it is impartial to you. It is not thinking, I'm going to really ruin this woman's life, this man's life, right? It's impartial. It just follows the course. And most everything in our life is in front of us and down. Computer, we sleep in fetal position a lot of times, and not many people get on a ball and really stretch backwards, right? Even just doing that, I had a few vertebrae pop, 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 right? And it's about opening, and this is the center of all of this is where your life began, right here, right? And then from there it spawned these wonderful organs that keep us alive. Well, if everything is pulling us in this way, like a little roly-poly bug, and you don't stop it, it starts shutting down nervous system, particularly to the brain, and then the outer edges of the body start to deteriorate. We start losing feeling, we start our thinking, our hearing, our eyesight, right, as we get older. And this has just always been accepted as a part of aging, and it doesn't have to be. There's many cultures that, they believe otherwise. So in my book, I'm trying to create curiosity, at least, for people to investigate this for themselves, to see where does this show up in their own life, and what will they do? At what level they're at right there? What will they do to start searching and seeking? What can they do to reverse that, or just to create curiosity? Like, oh man, I wonder why. And so, but it goes into all of the things I've learned. A lot of chapters of different chapters that will be their own book, a new yoga that I created to teach people how to unwind.
Well, there you go. You've said it out loud. You've set your intention. So let's give it a time frame. How much time do you envision before the book is physically manifested in your hands and ready to share with the world? 6 months? A year?
Oh, well.
No pressure.
Yeah, no, I don't know what to even say.
Okay.
I guess a year. I don't know. 2 years? 5 years? I've been working on it for 8. Okay. It's time to let the birdie fly, right?
Yes, it is. Okay. So my intention is that me and everyone who's watching this will help hold that intention for you and bring it into being, because that sounds like information we can all benefit from. All that you have learned, all that you have distilled and woven together in your experience would be well worth sharing. So
thank you.
Yeah, I would like to encourage you in whatever way I can, and hopefully, as I said, whomever is watching will be a part of the process of bringing that into being.
Okay.
So we just have about a minute left.
Okay.
If there was one thing, maybe there's more than one thing, but small movements that you would encourage people to take, and it sounds like you were getting into a little bit of that, getting on a ball and just allowing yourself to expand as opposed to contradict the contraction that we're all doing most of the time unawarely.
That's it.
Would that be the thing?
That would be the thing. Yep. Particularly opening up the whole middle of your body, from here to here, and all the belly muscles in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, medicine ball, lying backwards on the bed, just anything?
One of those, the big round physio balls, you can 55, 65. 65 I always tell people to get, because it's not the big 75, and this 55 is often too small.
Okay.
And 5 deep breaths, right? And every time you exhale, at your arms at 9 and 3, 10 and 2, 11 and 1, and 12 o'clock. 5 deep breaths each one, and every time you let your body melt. And there's going to be a little pain, right? Because anytime you bring your body back and you go back through the layers, little things will show up. And just being aware of those little things and breathe them and be grateful for them. Breathe into them. And then let your body melt. That's the only way to get past through the layers. Because oxygen is the fuel for that journey.
Amen. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for expressing that and for demonstrating it so well. That's great. So, what was I going to say? People who would like to connect with you, to work with you, to just dance with you, you're as I do with every one of these shows, I will put a little end credit with contact info, and for you, your contact info will be your email address.
That's right. I don't have a website yet. My is very simple. Therapy by Toby.
Tobi.
And Toby spelled with an I.
Yeah.
That's right. At yahoo.com.
Okay. All right. So that's my promise. I will have that in the credit.
Thank you.
Video. My great pleasure. So this show was called In the Center of the Circle. It's now being called. It's going to take a while for this. Yeah, micro movements for maximizing impact. And our guest today was Tobi Lang, who was just sharing a whole universe of experience with us. And I would just like to take us out with a little bit of a chant by my friend Karen Drucker. It's called Loving Kindness. Just a little song to take you out with and inspire you to take your own little micro movements in your journey. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. Once again. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well, may I be peaceful and at ease, and may I be happy. Last time. May I be filled with loving kindness, may I be well, may I be peaceful and at ease, and may I be happy.
That's wonderful.
Thank you, Toby. So thanks everyone for watching and listening. I look forward to seeing you again. These shows come out about once every week, and once you see I'll include the link at the end of this video to all of the YouTube videos of the show, so you can watch any of them at your leisure. Thanks for being a part of this experience with us. Thank you again, Toby.
Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. Go with love.